Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. And in the last episode, it looked like the end of the line for Noel Vermillion, aka Moo 12, as her Murakumo sister Nu 13 prepared to dish out the final blow. But lo and behold, she was rescued by none other than Ragna the Blood Edge, who actually dealt out a very impressive bout himself with the power of the Azure Grimoire and BlazBlue matching the power of Murakumo wielded by Nu 13. But alas, even the power of BlazBlue wasn't enough to completely overpower Nu, and it appeared that the terrible fate that would result in the return of the Black Beast might spell itself out yet again. Except this time, things have changed, because in the place of Jin Kisaragi is Noel Vermillion, who has managed to save Ragna from the very fate that previously could not be changed. Now that does beg the question, by doing so, has Noel Vermillion, by saving the present, changed the past as well? To that, I believe the answer is no. She hasn't changed the past, so to speak, even though, well, certain things have changed, I suppose. But, what she has changed is not the past, but the future, because a brand new chapter awaits the world of BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. And so much so that Rachel Alucard herself has broken her long-standing, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Her long-standing way of staying in the background, of being one of the members of the audience, as she put it, in a reference to Shakespeare's quote about the world being a stage and all the men and women merely players. But even Rachel Alucard herself has intervened by activating something that she referred to as the Tsukuyomi unit, or Tsukuyomi if you want to be technical, I suppose. But in any case, the Tsukuyomi unit appears to be some sort of impenetrable defense shield. Somehow the ace of Rachel Alucard, but she used it to defend against the ominous satellite that was threatening to destroy Kagutsuchi the same way that it did Iruma. Now, I cut off part of the previous episode, and for that I apologize, the final part in which Rachel Alucard announces the name of the satellite in question, so I shall do so here. Because that satellite is also, like Bulwark and Yukiana Sur Nirvana, a notorious weapon created in the Dark War against the Black Beast. That satellite's name, Gigante Takemikazuchi. But because of the fact that Rachel Alucard was able to deflect Takemikazuchi's killing blow, it will now enter a cooldown period of roughly 4 years, and then it will once again awaken to attempt to unleash its terrible payload in the future. But for now, Kagutsuchi has actually been given a reprieve. It is not going to be destroyed, and it seems like we aren't being taken back to the past. It seems that time hasn't reset itself, which means that the ominous system Takamagahara has not intervened. Now that is a change from everything that has gone on at this point, although of course from Ragna's perspective here in the Cauldron Chamber, he doesn't know any of this whatsoever, since he's still pretty much looking after a sleeping Noel Vermillion. who appears to have finally awoken and regained consciousness.
Oh, you awake now.
Huh? Where am I? Who are you?
And of course, Noelle is still dizzy from the fact that her personality as Mu 12, had taken over her consciousness.
You! You're Ragna the Bloodedge!
But she's now back to being Noel Vermillion, Lieutenant of the NOL's Praetorian Guard.
What do you think you're doing here? You can't run or hide from me!
Yeah, safe to say that she doesn't remember anything that has transpired since before this moment.
You're under arrest! You have the right to remain silent!
You're not making any sense. Just calm down for a second.
We definitely have a lot to bring you up to speed on. But what is that? What is going on? That laugh. For a moment there I thought Hakumen had come to intervene again, given the fact that he's still here, but that laugh can only belong to one person, and one person only. The final actor in our little stage adventure drama.
I've been waiting for this moment.
That's right. It's the one, the only,
Look at me.
Captain Hazama of the NOL. And yet for some reason his name is obscured by question marks.
Look at me, Noel Vermillion.
Hazama?
And Rachel's back from activating Tsukuyomi, but
Noel!
I think it's too little too late.
Do not look at that man! Who are you?
Yeah. Behold the truth of the man we know as Captain Hazama of the NOL's Intelligence Department. Yeah. There is more to Hazama than meets the eye. No pun intended. Yeah. See that image overlaying with Hazama? Yeah.
You recognized me, didn't you?
Yeah. That was a spectre we know all too well. And now it's time for the parents of Super Saiyan Hazama. Or, to go by his real name, Yuki Terumi.
Hey, shitty vampire! Who's laughing now?
Yeah, thanks to the fact that Noel Vermillion is the eye, or the possessor of the Eye of the Azure, as Rachel Alucard put it, she pretty much has the powers of an observer, much like Kokonoe and Rachel Alucard herself. But how can this be? Was Yuki Terumi pretending to be Captain Hazama all along? Well, not precisely. I know it's a bit complicated, adventurers, but to try and explain things in simpler details, Yuki Terumi and Captain Hazama are in fact two separate beings. Needless to say that Terumi was rendered in incorporeal form, possibly thanks to the sealing by Hakumen and the Boundary, which of course would do anything to anyone. But it seems that Captain Hazama, that is his real name, by the way, is in fact a vessel, that is to say a host body for Yuki Terumi. A host body that does have its own ego, id, and consciousness, but his sole existence is to serve as a physical body for the spirit of Yuki Terumi, formerly of the Six Heroes, but now, thanks to Noel Vermilion, Yuki Terumi has regained physical substance in reality. And that's bad. Very, utterly bad.
Bastard!
Oh, by the way, Yuki Terumi was also the one that corrupted Jin Kisaragi and manipulated him into destroying the church, killing the people inside, and cutting off Ragna's right arm.
Hey now, that was close. What the hell? That's not fair, double-teaming me like that. It's not a very grown-up thing to do.
There's Terumi again with his very snarky sarcasm there of his own. Not on par with Rachel Alucard's sarcasm, but still, 6 out of 10.
No.
He's a very snide individual, as Yuki Terumi.
Well, but if you insist, I might reconsider. You know, I might be able to get a good warm-up out of it.
Damn you.
Long time no see, Ragna the Blood Edge. How's your right arm holding up?
Perfect, now that we have the Azure Grimoire.
Oops, my bad. It was me who chopped that off, wasn't it?
Well, technically speaking, you were still in spirit form when that happened, since you didn't really have a body. Although, of course, then again, you had Jin to work with in that instance.
So how is it? Doesn't that fake arm come in handy? Do you think it's pretty good for an imitation?
How do you know that the Azure Grimoire is an imitation, Yuki Terumi?
Shut up, you son of a bitch!
But Ragnar is too infuriated to realize what Terumi is actually saying in that instance. That might come back to bite you in the arse.
Ragna, stop!
Don't interrupt me, Rabbit!
I am loath to admit it, but the situation has changed. You haven't a chance, Ragna.
I hate to break it to you, Ragnar, but the bunny rabbit vampire is correct. At least on this point. Fighting Hakumen was one thing, fighting Nu was another, but fighting Yuki Terumi, oh man.
Yeah. What she said. I think that dumb vampire right there is the only one who can keep up with me now.
Given the fact that she has the Tsukuyomi unit, as well as the unlimited powers at her disposal, Yuki Terumi is telling the truth, although I think that probably Hakumen and Jubei, Terumi's former comrades, would actually have the power to actually deal with Terumi. Ragnar, on the other hand, even with the power of BlazBlue at his disposal, yeah, fighting Yuki Terumi after all this would actually be very detrimental to your health, not to mention your existence.
A little bitch like you wouldn't be able to satisfy me. Did I misuse the phrase? Oh well, whatever.
Laugh while you still can, Yuki Terumi, because you will get your own just desserts in due time.
Bastard! You want to try me? Bring it on, you son of a bitch.
Don't tempt fate, Ragna. We've already tempted it enough as it is, and we finally made it to this point.
That's a little too cocky for a puppy like you. If you keep yelping at me, I'll have to seriously kill you.
Because believe it or not, we actually don't know what powers Yuki Cherami has at his disposal. Now I know that Hazama claimed to be a man who often avoided combat because he wasn't good at fighting, although given his duplicitous nature, I would hazard a guess that that was in fact a ruse on his part.
Oh. And just who is being cocksure now?
Aha! Remember what you were saying about Rachel being the only one to keep up with you, Terumi? Might want to remember those words.
Little boy.
Just kidding. Damn, you're scary, lady.
Yeah, even you can bite off more than you can chew, Yuki Terumi.
But seriously, you're lucky, Ragna. You have such a sweet guardian with you.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
What did you say, you son of a bitch?
I told you to stop, Ragna.
Well, I'm in a really good mood today, so I'll just let the little puppy go. It'd be tough even for me to handle 3 scary people like you.
I'm sure it would be. Even you can be overwhelmed with the right amount of force.
Oops. It's more like 2 people and a dog, huh? Let's do this again sometime, stupid vampire. And say hello to the old man for me.
Huh. Now there is a very low blow. I don't think the old man he's referring to is Valkenine, although it might be. But then again, in that context, could Yuki Terumi be referring to Rachel's father, Clavis Alucard?
Hey, wake the hell up!
And so he goes, probably for the best.
What's with him? What's going on? What was that all about?
Yeah, things got better, and then things got worse. So much worse. Yuki Terumi being back in existence is a very unfortunate thing. To think that all we had was Nu and Takemikazuchi to deal with.
Damn it! Hey, are you okay? Noel, was it? Hey, get a grip! Hey, Noel!
Seems Noel is still shaken by what's just transpired.
Dark Susanoo.
What did you just say, Noel Vermillion? Dark Susanoo? But I thought Hakumen was in possession of the sanctioned Susanoo unit. Does Yuki Terumi have some sort of connection to the Susanoo unit? Perhaps. And if he does, that means his powers could very well be on par, if not greater, than that of Hakumen's. Oh dear. That is a very unfortunate revelation regarding Yuki Terumi's true nature.
Kokonoe, you are watching this, aren't you?
And it seems that Kokonoe has been listening in on our little tete-a-tete with the Yuki Terumi.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
So you've been waiting for him to manifest this whole time.
I swear, I'm gonna take that son of a bitch out myself.
Well, you have to wait in line, because if I listed all the people that want to see Yuki Terumi dead, I'd be here forever. No, seriously, I would.
No matter what it takes!
As I said before, Kokonoe, you'll have to wait your turn. But believe it or not, we've done it. We have reached the true ending of BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. The world has been saved. Kagutsuchi hasn't been destroyed. But instead, even though Takemikazuchi has been stopped in its tracks for the time being, the threat of Yuki Terumi has now been unleashed and manifested in the host vessel that is Captain Hazuma. A somewhat Pyrrhic victory, to be sure. Well, we've reached the truth, but believe it or not, adventurers, our ordeal is far from over. But we can take a sigh of relief. We've earned ourselves a small reprieve at this point. Because as bad as things are now, and they are pretty bad with Terumi on the scene, things could be worse, a lot worse. But it took a bit longer than I thought it would, and I apologize for that after delaying over a few months, but we've finally done it. We've reached the end of Let's Play BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, and to be perfectly honest, I am glad that I've chosen to do this as a Let's Play. I know I could have done this a lot more better and professionally and decently, but it is the way it is. It is still a professionally casual Let's Play by me, the Dungeon Master, as always, as all of my Let's Plays tend to be. But it was a very fun Let's Play, and a very fun adventure for me, because before this month, I'd never even heard of, well, before this year, in fact, I'd never even heard of BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, let alone the BlazBlue series as a whole. And for first entry, it is a bit rough around the edges, but overall, it is a fairly fun experience. Frustrating at times, I wish that you but, well, I would say that all's well that ends well, but as I said before, it's not over yet. BlazBlue itself, Calamity Trigger, might be ended, but it's only just begun. We have won the battle, but by no means has the war truly been won. Because now that Terumi is unleashed, he is going to enact his own plans and agenda, and that does not bode well for the people of Kagutsuchi or the world of BlazBlue itself. But please let me know what you thought about this series, for good or ill. I know a few people are upset about the lag in certain episodes, for which I entirely apologize. And once again, I would also like to apologize for that one part of Bang Shishigami's story that I was still never able to record without the game crashing or Bandicam not recording properly. But in the end, I had to put it aside. And that credit there, Love So Blue, is the lyric version of Noel Vermillion's battle theme Bullet Dance in the final battle with New 13 and the true ending of BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. And we get to listen to New's theme, Awakening the Chaos, here at the end credits. And then some. And I do actually like the BlazBlue Calamity Trigger signa behind there, with 2 guns and the word Victor or Underdog. Or words, I should say, Victor or Underdog. Well, we are far from the underdog. We've proven ourselves to be the victor indeed. And thank you very much to the people who made BlazBlue Calamity Trigger and the series in general, Arc System Works and the distributors Axis Games. The PC port is a bit buggy at times, considering the fact that it is a port, but, well, it is still a very decent port in that I was able to enjoy myself quite well. And these credits are definitely taking a long time, but I do have a lot to say, especially towards the end. But I really did enjoy this experience, and I hope you've enjoyed following me on this rather extensive journey along the way. But now, the journey has finally come to an end. And what an end it is. Produced by Arc System Works. I am the Dungeon Master, your host. Until next we meet.
Hello. First Lieutenant Tsubaki Yayoi reporting, sir. You wanted to see me?
But before we leave, we finally get to hear from Noel Vermillion's friend, Tsubaki Yayoi, who apparently is a first lieutenant in the NOL now. That is, interesting to hear.
Oh, hello. I'm Hazuma from the Intelligence Department. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yuki Terumi is still around, but so is his host vessel body, Hazuma, and at this point in time, Hazuma is still a captain within the NOL's Intelligence Department, and nobody but we are the wiser. And Tsubaki Yayoi is wearing a white version of the NOL's military uniform, other than the traditional standard blue of the Praetorian Guard. That could be significant, perhaps another division of the Novus Orbis Librarium.
You're that Yayoi family that I keep hearing about. Thanks for coming all the way from there. Oh, by the way, hierarchically speaking, I'm technically a captain. But the Intelligence Department isn't bound by hierarchy, so please, relax.
Oh, my apologies, Captain.
It seems that Tsubaki Yayoi is actually very formal in these matters. Well, she is actually a member of a very distinctive family within the NOL, so that is her typical nature.
I just asked you to relax. Oh well. The reason that I called upon you, First Lieutenant, is because I'd like to put you in charge of a classified mission.
Classified, you say? And yet, of course, you are going to tell her, and by extension us, about this classified mission of yours.
What sort of a mission would require the Intelligence Department to get involved, sir?
That is a very good question indeed, Tsubaki.
Oh, I know what you're trying to get at. But don't worry. I have a full grasp of the character of your squad, First Lieutenant. Besides, this is a direct order from the main headquarters.
A direct order from the central headquarters?
Oh, would you like some proof of that? Here is a signature from the Imperator.
The Imperator. Remembering that Bang Shishigami interrogated Jin Kisaragi as to who was in control of the NOL. Well, now we know. The Imperator. Although that doesn't really explain much. But then again, the Novus Orbis Librarium is a vast organization, and given its empirical attire, it should actually stand to reason that it is ruled by an Imperator, or, in layman's terms, an Emperor. Or Empress, who knows. But Tsubaki sees the signature of the Imperator on Hazuma's document, and that can mean only one thing for her.
My apologies. I didn't mean to pry.
Because that signature, believe it or not, is legitimate. I doubt even Hazuma would go so far as to forge the Imperator's signature, although he could. Or at least Terumi would.
Oh no, please, don't worry about it. Now, let me continue. The details of the mission will be given verbally. Since it's a classified mission, it'd be inconvenient to leave any record of it. Besides, the mission description is simple enough for you to memorize it on the spot.
Yes, sir!
All right. Here it comes.
Well then, let's hear it, Hazama. And yes, it is Hazama in control and not currently Terami, because they are, after all, two separate individuals with two separate personalities, not entirely unlike Noel Vermilion and Mu 12.
First Lieutenant Yayoi Tsubaki.
That would be Sabaki Yayoi, but this is Japan, so why not? It is formal after all.
I'd like to assign you to assassinate Major Jin Kisaragi and Lieutenant Noel Vermilion.
Yeah. There's that classified assignment. The assassination of Jin Kisaragi and Noel Vermilion. It seems that Hazama's position actually allows him quite the influence within the hierarchy of the Novus Orbis Librarium. But then again, using one of Noel's closest friends, and Jin's for that matter, is killing two birds with one stone. Yeah, this does not bode well at all. Not one bit. So that is it from me, adventurers. That was Let's Play BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, and things are only going to go downhill from here. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play adventure, and I hope you look forward to more Let's Play adventures in the near future. As always, adventurers, I am your host, the Dungeon Master. Until next we meet. The seal of fate is now broken. It's up to you. BlazBlue. And that was it. So again, as always, adventurers, until next we meet.